Hey everybody, how we doing? Chase here. So you're probably wondering what's going on with my chart. Well, today is the day where we will introduce the 10 trials system. I like to introduce this once I believe that everyone, sort of has a bit of footing under them. People are growing more confident in themselves. I'm getting more DMs about, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? And truth be told, there is a such thing called paralysis by analysis. And basically this is just when there's too much stuff going on, like the screen you see in front of you. So we're going to talk about how to utilize the 10 trial system, why it can be good and why it will help you develop trading confidence. Okay, so the 10 trial system is you doing 10 trades on your own. And what it is you're going to, you can create a separate account, whatever you need to do. You will use one contract trades. Okay, so just one contract. This isn't about, this is about, you developing either confidence in yourself or you learning that you need to get back to, the educational aspects of the game and, really start, learning a lot more. You want to know when you can be more confident in your own trading abilities. That's the point I'm trying to get at. Okay? So what you're going to do is, first off, you're going to utilize two things 100%. You're always going to utilize the horizontal levels, and you're going to utilize candles. Okay? So you're going to look, how did the candle close on the 1 day or the 4 hour? Did it close as a hammer? Did it close as a doji? Etc. Did it close above support? Did it close below support? And then you obviously have a bunch of different things you could add in. What you're typically going to do is you're going to have those two major things. Those are necessities: horizontal levels and candles. And then I want you to add in, 2 or 3 of your favorite tools out of your toolbox. Okay, so that could be anything from your typical RSI divergences, your Stotch RSI. Could be TD sequential, could be volume profile, visible range, could be on balance volume, could be Ichimoku, could be super guppy, could be moving averages, TD sequential, whatever you want. Okay, so grab in 3 more things in there that you really like from your toolkit, and that's what you're going to be analyzing for your 10 trials. You're going to look at your horizontal levels, see if you feel bullish or bearish. You're going to look at your candles, see if you feel bullish or bearish. Look at, say your RSI, your TD, and your VPVR, whatever you want to use, okay? And you are going to write down and plot out your 10 trials, okay? So you're going to do your first one, and you're going to note it as a win or a loss. So you'll say 1 and 0. What did I do well? I waited with patience for the level that I expected it to go to. If you had a support level above and you had a support level below, and pretend that you saw big orders in the order book, and it was like, oh well, maybe I should close early. There's big orders in the order book. But you waited for your support level that you saw on the chart instead of looking at the order book, and it hit, then that's the type of thing you want to write. And if you did something bad, closed early, but my level would have actually hit, then make sure you write that down. Okay, so this is going to be your 10 trials, and at the end of the 10 trials, like I said, you'll be left with a score. Maybe you'll be 2 and 8, and you realize you got to get back to the drawing board and learn a lot more. Maybe you'll be 5 and 5. And you'll say, oh wow, well, it looks like I've learned a bit. I'm 50% here. Add up your points, see how you did. Or maybe you'll exit something like 7 and 3, or 8 and 2, or 9 and 1, or even 10 and 10. And you could say, hey, why haven't I had more confidence in myself? Maybe I'm onto something here. Maybe I'm actually becoming a good trader myself, or I am a good trader. Okay. Because I used this 10 trial system when I was just starting out, when I was just learning and everything, and this was told to me by someone else, and they were like, look, utilize these 10 trials, and I utilized them, and I think I ended at like 7 and 3 or something like that. Yeah, I think it was 7 and 3, And I said, wow, I'm winning 70% of the time. That's actually pretty good. I don't feel like I need to really listen to, anyone else anymore. And I understand, a lot of people are in the group, for our advice, and I'm happy about that. But there is this thing going on that seems that in the group that has been, for me, I'm pretty good at filtering everything, but over time it does become more and more distracting, when we're talking about this news or that news, or we're talking about this person on crypto Twitter thinks this, or that person on crypto Twitter thinks that, or, Goldman did this, or, etc., etc. There's so much, extra fluff, so to say, that's really not very necessary, okay? When I was first started trading Bitcoin, I was looking at horizontal levels, candles, and Stoch RSI, and that was literally it. I was looking at those three things, and I was actually doing pretty well. And over time, you can see my sort of list on the left here. This is my quote-unquote big list. Pretty much most of the things that I would, look at. And we can go through a few of them. Let's just use a few for example. First, we can look at the TEMA strategy. So the TEMA strategy is simple. It just shows, when the three, your three EMAs go above your 55 EMA here. I'll show you the numbers. It's 55 on the yellow, and the other three are 21, 13, and 8. And when your 21, 13, 8 go above the 55, you typically get a long uptrend or a long downtrend if they go below. Okay, so you can see here, uptrend, uptrend, downtrend, downtrend, very slight uptrend, downtrend, slight uptrend, maybe downtrend. We'll have to see. Let me take a sip of water here. So that's just, one thing you could use. You could look at this. You could look at TD sequential. TD sequential I have back mapped to about early 2017. Has about a 70% success rate of some type of reversal when hitting between a 7 or 9. Okay, so see, you get to this 9 here, you get some type of price reversal. Okay, you get to the 9 here. This was a slight uptrend, price reversal. You get to an 8 here. This was sort of a downtrend, goes upwards. 7 here, downtrend, goes upwards. Downtrend, 8 downwards. Okay, so that one didn't work. Get a 9 here, starts moving upwards. At least you get, and it doesn't look that big, but you would have got a quick 700 points. Okay, so that's definitely still a reversal there on that 9, right, from that downtrend. So TD has about a 70% success rate lately on the reversals. And like I said, use whatever you want in your toolbox. Okay, utilize. You can use VPVR. You could look for swing failure patterns. You could look for divergences. You can use Ichimoku Cloud and utilize TK Cross. Let's look at that real quick. We'll talk about that. TK Cross is basically just when the Technin goes above the Kijun is typically a bullish sign. I use default settings. I'll show you why. You can see here the cross happened on 7/7. Gave you some information that the trend could be moving upwards. If you utilize the crypto settings, you see that you didn't get the TK Cross until the 21st, after we had already pumped up, 600 points or so, 650. So I personally like, when I'm looking at TK Cross, I like to use the default settings. I feel like it's a little more snappy. You can get some more false reads, but I mean, pretty snappy. Like look at this. Signaled this downtrend. It never crossed up. Once it crossed up, you could have closed. And so I like using the TK Cross for that on the daily for sure. I look at that every now and then. And like I said, I've been trading for a good amount of time, so I have a lot of, quote unquote tools in my toolbox that I like to utilize, but there is a such thing as, what they call the paralysis by analysis. If you just have too many things on your plate, if you're looking at all these different indicators, and if you have a ton of indicators, some of them are going to point different ways, so you got to find which ones work best for you. That's why I'm saying just use the main two, use the horizontal levels and the candles, and then pick your 3 favorites, okay? And then use those for your 10 trials and see how everything goes. If it doesn't go good, pick 3 new ones, or go research more about those indicators that you're using and see what type of problem you had. Okay, and at the same time, paralysis by analysis also is affected by your external influence. How much browsing on crypto Twitter are you doing? Is this person influence your decision? Oh, this person's influencing your decision. Are you on you're looking up TradingView? You're on coinnews.com or whatever. Who knows where you get the news from? All these things are affecting you and affecting you and affecting you, and all you really need is to just give this a try. Do the 10 trials. Utilize the chart. Utilize your horizontal levels, your candles, and 2 or 3 of your favorite indicators, and see how you do. Write down your progress, and I guarantee that you will, at the end, figure out, if you have more to learn, or if you should have been more confident in yourself from the first place. And I know that's sort of what started my whole, quote unquote career with this, was that I stopped listening to everyone else and I started doing my own thing, and I'm happy that happened, way back here somewhere, because, somewhere around here it happened. Because if I didn't, really start, thinking only for myself, and I had been trading, as some other markets earlier than this, but really it's, when you get into the crypto market, it's very different because there's just so much quote unquote hype and talk around it. If you're trading like a forex, or you're trading like a stock or something, you're not online talking about that really. But crypto, it's just, there's so much external influence that can really affect you. Okay, and if I was affected, if I was really listening to what everyone else was saying, I never would have sold up here. I probably just would have rode it all the way down like most other people did, because people were calling for 100K. They were saying, oh, Bitcoin's a brand new thing. Wall Street just got in. It's going to be like gold. It's going up to at least 250,000, etc., etc. Okay, and I had all my Ether Delta gems going on and whatnot in here, and I made my first big sell at 17,000, and that was because I wasn't listening to everyone else. I simply looked at the chart and I said, okay, this is a parabolic advance. This is ridiculous. What goes up must come down eventually. And once I saw one of these first signs of weakness here, one of these dump candles or something, that was it. I was like, you know what, I'm right. This is going down, and I made the sell. And everyone was, they were seeing these dead cat bounces, and oh, here we go, we're going back up. I just wouldn't rebuy. Gotta trust yourself. And let's try to clear it out a little bit, guys. Just too much talk about this guy, that guy, this analysis, that analysis. Let's focus on our analysis. Let's focus on your analysis. Let's utilize the tools that we have in the chart. Okay? And I think that this 10 trial system will really help you guys develop trading confidence, see what you're doing right, see what you're doing wrong, let you look back at your progress and become a better trader moving forward. Okay? Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great night.